And I want to talk to you about the batons that you gather in your morning BART ride. Summer 2008. My mother and I stand over Teta's resting place in Shar'iyya, a small rural village in Egypt. She is newly tucked beneath the dirt. My great aunts and uncles lay by her side, welcoming her in her passage to the next life. Mama looks upon this solemn gathering. She exhales the tears and says, "Won't it be lonely to die among strangers in a land that's not your own?" And I wonder at what kind of loneliness could produce solace in a graveyard. We live in an alien world where neighbors don't know each other's names and people wake up at 6 a.m. to walk their dogs but then put their parents in nursing homes, where the top prescription drug in this country is an antidepressant. A people disconnected from ourselves and each other, perhaps this is our inheritance. A nation of shipwrecked immigrants. America, you are a strange place and you are not always kind, but you are the place that I call home. And there are nights when I am acutely aware of my own breathing, when even Baba's snoring in the bedroom next door seems like a recording, the foreign ramblings from the radio of a passing car, and my thoughts wander to Sarah from back in high school. Daughter of Malaysian immigrants, a moral philosopher at the age of 17, sitting in her suburban tower, trying to understand why she feels so damn alone. I get to thinking if perhaps she was right all along, if we are all islands, if this is the way it's meant to be, and there is no retreat from the sound of my own singular breath. But then I remember the poetry we shot back and forth, our hearts and minds splattered like paint across the plasma screen. They come back to me. Lunchtime conversations full of angst, solemn wrinkled foreheads, and too much Russian literature. Pretentious beyond our years, Sarah and I wrote sonnets to the shades of meaning in passing faces, and all at once my passing phases of melancholy seem off tune and out of touch, because even as we spoke of the soul's barricades, we were breaking them. And I think we're all a little off tune, a note short of empathy, an octave away from understanding that the shake of our knees and the shake of our laughter are all one of the same massive crescendo. I know it because every now and so often I register the voices at cash registers, empty from empty exchange, like the "here's your change" at the toll booth window, and toll booth gazes told by our stories left untold. Talk to someone. Mama, I wish you would talk to someone. These days, Mama sits alone in her room. She tracks every development of the Egyptian revolution from the glowing plasma portal she places gently on her lap, where distant bloggers spew their predictions and indignation in her native tongue. As for me, I prefer to get my news on the morning commute to Pasadena. 35 cents, and I'm on the Gold Line Metro from LA Union Station to Del Mar. I relish in conversations with brave strangers who dare to ask me where I'm from or verbally note the scarf on my head. Most conversations start with, "Oh, really, you're Egyptian? I have a coworker from Iran." Fumbling to establish some sort of connection with over there, that place with oil wars and Muslim rage, that somewhere where embassies are burned, women are oppressed, and chaos reigns, but I don't mind. I will always prefer awkward and ill-informed over the paralyzing fear of small talk. Dear stranger on the Metro Gold Line who asks stupid, innocent questions, I love you. I am at home in your questions. And there is one question I need to ask you, but I must say it like I mean it. No, I must mean it. As though the world will stop upon its utterance, I must ask as though you and I were of one mind, and our bedside tears and sidelong smiles were of one kind. I have one question. How are you today? And I can ask it in English, plain and clear, but with nothing more universal than the gravity in my eyes. How are you today? Talk to me. From there, you can grab your homemade bombs and I will steer my hijacked plane and we can wreak havoc on the cities we built to isolate and insulate our souls. With a force so savagely stellar, it would stun Pamela Geller. Dear, sweet stranger, talk to me. Enter my home and take a seat on the gold and turquoise cushions. This is the closest thing on earth to heaven's kitchen. Note the brilliant smiles and red, round cheeks of my heinous male relatives. Beware of their militant hospitality. Nay, you will not be skewered, but you can expect skewers of spicy kebab and stuffed grape leaves piled a few inches too high on china plates lined with gold. Hands too wide for triggers and switches can only extend, palms up in hearty embrace. Tafaddal, tafaddal, il-hana wa shifa. Talk to me. We could talk over many plates of cookies and many cups of teas. We will swap our thoughts on femininity, listening deeply until our arms flail up with passion and discord, orchestrating a contentious symphony, but always with good spirit. And when you ask me of the dreams woven in the seams of my scarf, thread by thread, I will unwind for you the very fiber of my being, until each strand falls to the dirt and lays to rest. It's like these threads are talking. Won't it be lonely to die among strangers in a land that's not your own? I don't want to die in a land of strangers. I need to know you.